In today's Final Touch, it's a whole new way to enjoy winter.
It's a new sport called snow feet. It's being developed in the mountains of the Czech Republic. Snow feet combine skis and skates. Snow feet fit over winter boots or snowboarding boots and have adjustable bindings, so one size fits all. They have metal steel edges and a heel brake that allows users to stop quickly. Snow thrill seekers are able to perform twists, jumps, and other tricks not possible on conventional skis. It can be used for downhill skiing as well. It's kind of cool.
That's very
Wrap on your shoes and go. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, why nearly 200 Middleton High School students protested at the school today.
4 teenage boys are in custody following a report of a burglary in pursuit of a stolen vehicle.
And we have live coverage from Baraboo as the community is getting prepared to hold a meeting surrounding the controversy from a prom photo.
This is News 3, 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. A developing story out of Chicago tonight as police say an officer has been shot during an active shooting incident at a hospital on that city's south side.
A police spokesman says the officer is in critical condition. One possible offender has also been shot, and officers are now searching the hospital. The department issued a statement on Twitter saying there were reports of multiple victims after shots were fired this afternoon near Mercy Hospital. Police are asking people to avoid the area. It's just off I-55, about 3 miles south of the museum campus. No other details have been immediately released.
A group of Middleton high schoolers held a walkout over sexual harassment this morning.
They claim that some of the harassment is happening on school grounds. Keely Arthur spoke with district officials and joins us now with the details. Keely.
Well, while many students were starting class, a couple hundred of their fellow classmates were walking out of school in protest of sexual harassment. District officials say this all began over the weekend when people anonymously posted stories of being harassed on social media. Many of the claims involve one Middleton male student, and many allegedly took place in or around school. A former Middleton student who organized the protest tells News 3 he was sick of the district not taking action over this student. However, the district says this is the first time they've heard about it and are working to understand the actual issue. Now, the district is investigating, working with the student involved in the majority of the accusations. They're also inviting any of the students who anonymously posted stories on social media to come forward to the school. The district says it encourages its students to peacefully organize. Parents of the students involved in this morning's protest did have to excuse their children from school.
All right, Keely Arthur reporting tonight. Keely, thank you. A Madison woman was hospitalized after someone shot her in her West Madison apartment this afternoon. Police said a 36-year-old woman was inside her apartment in the 7900 block of Tree Lane when she was shot. Police responded quickly, and officers have detained a person of interest who was attempting to flee the area. The victim was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries to her arm and leg. Police are looking for 2 people tonight who attacked a woman last night at a Madison hotel. Police said a 54-year-old woman has significant facial injuries and bruising around her neck after the incident inside the America's Best Value Inn that's on the southeast side. The woman told police that a man and woman battered and choked her. She said she lost consciousness several times. Police say the victim knows the man who attacked her, but not the woman.
Madison police are searching for a suspect after a manager at a KFC was hit in the head during a robbery this morning. Police were called around 8:40 to the KFC on Cottage Grove Road for reports of a robbery. The victim told police the intruder was armed with a gun, but she did not know if she was hit with a weapon or a fist. The robber took money from the register and then left. The manager was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Next at 5, police say it is an ongoing problem in Dane County. Stolen cars, burglaries, and vehicle pursuits.
The latest happening just this morning after 4 teens were arrested in Wanakee. Jamie Perez joins us now after speaking with police. She has more on this case. Jamie?
So police got that call around 8:20 this morning from someone who said he saw 2 people go into his garage while he was home. And when he went out to confront them, they took off in a black Ford Fusion, which police found out shortly after was a stolen car from Middleton. Police tried to do a traffic stop, but the car kept going even after placing spikes in the road. The car drove up on the curb to dodge those spikes. The second time they did this, they did end up losing a tire down the road. The teens fled that car and police chased them on foot, which police eventually caught and arrested them. Police say that this is an ongoing trend in Dane County. While they aren't sure why this is happening so much lately, their numbers show an alarming rate of this type of crime increasing.
For Wanakee, I think in the last year we've had around 65 burglaries or so, which in a typical year we normally have between 15 and 18. So we've seen a major jump in burglaries, a major jump in theft from autos, and a major jump in stolen vehicles.
Well, they don't know what motivated these teens in this situation in Wanakee. Police say they do know one thing. The suspects involved in these crimes are taking advantage of what they call the crime of opportunity. So make sure to lock your doors, close your garage, and even if you see something, make sure you say something. The biggest issue here is public safety, including safety of these teens.
Jamie Perez in the newsroom. Jamie, thank you.
All right, let's get a look at our weather now. Our first alert forecast chief meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us in the Weather Center. Gary?
Pretty quiet day today, Eric, across southern Wisconsin, although it was on the cold side. That's nothing new for us. As we take a look at visible cloud tracking, see plenty of clouds through the day. At times there was a little bit of filtered sunshine, but not really all that much. But on Doppler tracking, see there's very little in the way of precipitation. I can't rule out an isolated flurry or two of snow this evening, but most of us will just stay dry. Otherwise, the temperature trend over the last 24 hours shows how little the temperature has changed thanks to the cloud cover. Low temperatures have been in the lower 20s and high temperatures have been up around 30, so only about a 5 to 10 degree swing in the temperatures. This morning, our low temperature in Madison dropped to 23 degrees. A few places were in the upper teens out to the west. High temperatures so far today right around 30 degrees, a little colder to the north and west, a little milder to the south and east. And current temperatures now are in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to be down into the upper teens as skies actually start to clear out by early tomorrow morning. Then look for another cold day tomorrow with partly sunny skies and a high temperature of 31. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, thank you, Gary. The Baraboo police chief says he is continuing to investigate that controversial photo showing a group of Baraboo students appearing to give a Nazi salute. Chief Mark Schaaf says his team isn't looking into First Amendment issues. He said if there was intent to harass someone online, there may be a case, but the process to find out who ran the Twitter account that posted the photo is not so simple.
I can't just call social media outlets, Facebook or Twitter, and say, hey, give me the information on who. I need a search warrant to do that, or I need a subpoena to do that. I need a court document. To get those documents, I need a judge's order. And to have a judge's order, I need probable cause to show that a crime was committed and that that person may have committed that crime or that evidence is germane to that. So it's all part of the investigation.
And the Baraboo community is meeting again tonight following the national response to that controversial photo.
Our Amy Reed joins us now from Baraboo, where the meeting will start in the next hour. Amy?
Yeah, that's right. The meeting isn't scheduled to start for another hour, but it'll be here at the high school, arguably where this all started. Tonight we're expecting to hear from the mayor, a rabbi, and someone with the school. They'll be giving speeches as a response to the video that came out last week that appeared to have high school boys giving a Nazi salute. We've heard lots of perspectives on the intentions behind this photo, but this community seems to just want to move on and grow and leave the attention behind. We saw that last week as the community organized their own session to discuss the basic problems and solutions for this. I spoke with the mayor earlier. He was still working on his remarks for tonight. He told me it's been difficult watching his town go through this, and tonight he's going to speak from the heart. Now, he didn't want to spoil any of the specifics of his speech, but we will be here to watch it, and we'll bring you the highlights from his and the other addresses tonight at News 3 at 10.
We will see you then. Amy Reed, live in Baraboo. Thank you.
Republican Wisconsin Attorney General Brad Schimmel has conceded to Democrat Josh Kaul. Schimmel announced today he would not seek a recount even though state law allowed it because the margin of error was less than 1 percentage point. Canvass vote total shows Schimmel lost to Kaul by roughly 17,000 votes. Schimmel says in a statement that the vote gap was, quote, definitive. He says, quote, we felt the odds of finding enough votes were too narrow to justify putting the county clerks, their staff, and the public through such an ordeal at this time.
Kaul responded to Schimmel's concession in a statement today, thanking him for his public service. Looking forward, Kaul says he will take on issues like following up on the testing of the state's rape kit backlog and gun reform. Kaul also wants to even enforcement of environmental and consumer protection laws. He says there are a lot of things he'll be looking to do once he enters office.
I'm looking forward to getting to work on behalf of the people of Wisconsin. I'm looking forward to starting to respond to our opioid epidemic like the crisis it is. I'm looking forward to working with Governor-elect Tony Evers to withdraw the state of Wisconsin from the lawsuit that's seeking to invalidate the Affordable Care Act.
Call will be the first Democratic Attorney General in Wisconsin since his mother held the post from 2002 to 2006.
Local county clerks are taking issue with a possible change by Republican state lawmakers to change the date of the presidential primary in Wisconsin in 2020. Conservative State Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly will be on that ballot. It would be the same day as Democrats choose a potential challenger to Donald Trump. Turnout could be very high. Clerks say adding another election to their already hectic schedule could cause multiple issues.
Considering that just about every election has a high turnout these days, or at least higher than usual turnout from previous comparative elections, it would add significant costs to our budget.
State Elections Commission didn't have an immediate cost estimate on how much an extra election would cost, but in 2016, an election with a presidential primary on the ballot cost local clerks about $6 million.
And the Elections Commission wants to make sure that voters are confident in the electronic voting machines that you may have seen at the polls earlier this month. They're conducting the electronic systems audit, which happens after every November election. This year, they're increasing the number of wards to be audited from 100 to 180, and that's about 5% of the voting wards in the state. They've randomly selected the wards that will have their electronic systems tested and which races will be scrutinized.
We're only looking to make sure that certain races are counted correctly, just to check. We're not looking at things like registrations or other things that might cause other problems or issues with an election. We're just making sure that the machines work. A recount would be a full re-examination of the entire election.
The audit process is required before the Elections Commission can certify the results by the December 3rd deadline.
Representative Mark Pocan of Wisconsin's 2nd Congressional District reflected today on Democrats taking control of the House of Representatives in November and if he will support Nancy Pelosi as Speaker. Pocan joins Representative Ron Kind of La Crosse in saying they're undecided on if they'll vote for Pelosi in next week's Democratic caucus elections. Pocan says that he will privately meet with Pelosi before he makes any decision, but it is likely, he says, that she'll be elected regardless.
I'm waiting to have a personal conversation with her before I announce any decisions. So that's really kind of where we're at. I would rule nothing out. I would say the odds are that Nancy Pelosi is the next speaker at this point.
Well, this comes after 16 House Democrats said earlier today they will vote for new leadership against Nancy Pelosi.
Hunters purchased slightly fewer deer licenses heading into opening day of Wisconsin's traditional 9-day gun deer hunt. It started on Saturday. DNR data shows hunters purchased 774,000 deer licenses as of midnight Friday. That's about 2% down from 2017. The DNR sold dramatically fewer gun-only licenses. Hunters had purchased nearly 40,000 less gun-only licenses compared to last year. The DNR plans to release the preliminary opening weekend harvest totals on Tuesday.
More to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, the Colorado man accused of killing his pregnant wife and 2 daughters is sentenced. We'll hear what his mother-in-law is saying.
And firefighters continue to find the bodies of missing people from the Camp Fire in Northern California.
On Wall Street, the markets take a big hit to start the week. The Dow takes a 396-point dive. The Nasdaq loses 219. The S&P dropped 45.5. We'll be right back. A Colorado man has been sentenced to life in prison for killing his pregnant wife and their 2 young daughters. In a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, the 33-year-old Christopher Watts confessed to killing his wife Shannon, 4-year-old Bella, and 3-year-old Celeste in August, weeks after starting an affair with a coworker. He also pleaded guilty to unlawful termination of pregnancy and tampering with a deceased human body. Shannon's mother reminded Watts how her daughter and granddaughters worshipped him.
I have no idea who gave you the right to take their lives, but I know God and his mighty angels were there at that moment to bring them home to paradise.
A friend reported them missing in mid-August. In local news interviews before his arrest, Watts pleaded for his family's safe return. Watts is not eligible for parole. The list of victims continues to climb in the Camp Fire in Northern California. The wildfire now blamed for at least 77 deaths. Nearly 1,000 others are still unaccounted for. The scale of the devastation is one reason so many residents are still missing.
You have point A, which is the home where the person started, and you have point B, which is refuge, and it's miles and miles in between. You have people that are in between those two areas, and we have to find those people.
Well, the cause of the fire is still under investigation, but power company Pacific Gas and Electric reported having some equipment problems near the area where the flames were first spotted. Heavy rain is expected in the region this week. That could bring the fire under control, but is also likely to make it even more difficult to recover victims' remains.
Let's head out to the weather patio. Gary's watching the Thanksgiving week weather. Gary?
Well, around here it should be pretty quiet. It's starting out cold. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be cold as well. It won't be quite as cold for Thanksgiving. Then temperatures will be back in the 40s, at least for Black Friday and for Saturday. Let's start out by taking a look at the high temperature trend over the next 7 days, and you can see those temperatures starting out cold, getting a little bit above average as we head toward the days right after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving itself should be pretty close to normal, and then temperatures will turn cold again for the start of next week, and there could be some snow from Sunday night into Monday of next week. Now, taking a look at the travel forecast, this is from the USGFS computer model over the next 7 days. You can see things pretty quiet across the Midwest. The weather system tomorrow night could bring a couple of flurries of snow tomorrow evening. Otherwise, look for Wednesday to be partly sunny. Thanksgiving Day itself will probably be pretty nice with temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Notice the winds as we head toward Thanksgiving afternoon becoming a little more southerly with time. And then as we head into Friday, the next weather system will bring some rain out to the west of us. That should reach us in the afternoon into Friday night. Could be a little snow mixed in. And then that system will head off to the east on Saturday. The next weather system on Sunday could bring us a chance for some rain or snow showers late in the day on Sunday, and then that could change to light snow Sunday night into Monday morning of next week. So that if there are travel problems, it'll be right at the end of the holiday weekend. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Things pretty quiet around here. High temperature today only made it up to 31 after starting out at 23. The cloudy skies had a lot to do with that. And right now we're mostly cloudy, 29. Winds are out of the north at 12 miles per hour, and that drops the wind chill to 19 degrees. As we look at Weather Track, you can see that there are clouds across much of the upper Midwest, a couple of flurries of snow here and there, but other than that, no major storm systems, at least in the next couple of days, that would be affecting much of the country. So that's good news for the people traveling to their Thanksgiving holidays. But right now, as we look at the current weather map, you can see a cold front extending just to our south, and behind that, a large area of high pressure is building in. Now, to the west, that front becomes stationary and actually turns into a warm front over Montana. The warm air never really quite gets here, but another weather system will move in from the north and west and perhaps bring us a couple of flurries of snow tomorrow night. Look at the difference in temperatures. Up to the north, 4 degrees right now in International Falls, Minnesota, 9 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota. So our 29 seems balmy by comparison. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s across much of the Midwest. Really have to get south of the Ohio River before we start seeing temperatures in the 50s. So on future track, those clouds will probably move out late tonight. We'll see some sunshine tomorrow before the next batch of clouds moves in tomorrow night. Perhaps a couple of flurries of snow tomorrow night, and then we clear out for Wednesday. Temperatures on Wednesday still on the cold side. And then as we head toward Thanksgiving, notice the winds becoming a little more southeasterly and eventually southerly with time, and that will warm our temperatures back up into at least the upper 30s to near 40 degrees on Thanksgiving Day itself. So our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies, cold conditions with a low of 18. Might see some clearing late tonight. Then for tomorrow, partly sunny and cold with a high temperature of 31. As we look at future track, the cloudy skies tonight will give way to some clearing late tonight, low temperatures dropping to the upper teens. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with more clouds late in the day, high temperatures around the lower 30s. Tomorrow night, maybe a few flurries, and then skies clear out toward morning with low temperatures in the mid-20s. And Wednesday should be partly sunny with high temperatures in the upper 20s to the lower 30s. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures get back up to the upper 30s on Thanksgiving, and then lower to middle 40s for Friday and Saturday with some rain showers there. On Sunday, we could see a mixture of rain and snow showers, changing to light snow Sunday night, and then ending on Monday morning. After that, just dry and cold for the rest of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, things aren't too bad right now on the Beltline. That's the live view from the DOT camera at Park Street on the Beltline. Right now, just seeing some minor delays in the eastbound direction beginning around Monona Drive, heading back to around Park Street. Westbound, some delays between Fish Hatchery Road and just west of Park Street. So pretty average travel times, 19 minutes in the eastbound direction, 18 minutes in the westbound direction between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, 28 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 18 minutes out to Sun Prairie from downtown on US 151 and East Washington Avenue. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Still ahead at 5, for women battling breast cancer, treatment can sometimes harm their hearts. What one clinic is doing to protect breast cancer patients. That story after a short break. We have an update from Chicago now as police say the suspected gunman is dead. 4 people are in critical condition. This after a shooting at a Chicago hospital.
Chicago police say a police officer and at least 1 hospital employee are among those hospitalized in critical condition following a shooting at Mercy Hospital. The gunman is killed, but it's unclear if he took his own life or if he was killed by police.
For women battling breast cancer, treatment can sometimes harm their hearts.
Now, a Cleveland hospital is using a technique to protect patients from radiation, which can lead to heart disease. Kendall Forward has more.
Joyce McCain's breast cancer was picked up in a routine mammogram earlier this year. The 65-year-old considered her active lifestyle and decided a lumpectomy with radiation was the right treatment for her. Then doctors explained there could be side effects for her heart.
That gave me something else, to start worrying about.
Joyce's cancer was in her left breast, so radiation to treat the cancer could also expose the heart to incidental radiation, and that can lead to heart disease.
More commonly we worry about is long-term side effects of the heart, and that can include, for example, increased risk of coronary artery disease and subsequent heart attacks.
So Dr. Chirag Shah at the Cleveland Clinic told Joyce about a technique they're using that protects the heart from radiation while still delivering treatment effectively. Patients wear a snorkel-like device during radiation. They take a deep breath and hold it, increasing the distance between the heart and the area getting the radiation.
As the breast and chest lift up during the inspiration, the heart stays where it is, and so we're able to treat the breast and chest while limiting dose to the heart.
The Cleveland Clinic says using this active breathing technique is cutting radiation doses to the heart by 50% or more to patients in most cases. Something Joyce is grateful for. She needed 15 rounds of radiation.
I feel good. I really do. I keep trying to do my exercises. I'm trying to eat the way I'm supposed to eat. I try not to dwell on it. I'm trying to keep it positive.
She's now 4 months cancer-free. Kendall Forward, CBS News, Cleveland.
And stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
On tonight's CBS Evening News, the new urgency to find the missing in California before this week's rain. We're also going to have more on the ice-cold Thanksgiving forecast in the Northeast. And our Eye on America series takes a look at high school football in this country and how the two nephews of a legendary coach made two dramatically different choices. That is tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And it's clear and or cloudy and cool outside.
Yeah, it's temperatures are in the upper 20s right now. In fact, let's take a look at the current temperatures. 29 right now in Madison, around 30 to the west, upper 20s to the east. Wind chills not too bad, but still they're in the upper teens. It reminds you that it is fall here. And as we check out our 7 to 10 day forecast, look for high temperatures only in the low 30s for tomorrow and Wednesday. Thanksgiving itself, not as cold, high of 38, and it will become breezy in the afternoon. As far as precipitation chances for the holiday weekend, probably late Friday into Friday night and Saturday morning. Could be a little snow mixed in Friday night, but I think most of that will be in the form of rain. And then another weather system toward the end of the weekend could bring rain and snow showers late Sunday, changing to snow showers Sunday night and Monday. There could be some minor accumulations there before that ends, and then cold weather for the middle part of next week.
Well, hopefully not too much impact on those that are being traveling.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
And we'll have more updates 30 minutes on News 3 at 6. CBS Evening News coming your way next. Stay tuned.